Hello, and welcome to another episode of You First. That's right. You know, this is your space, your safe space. And yes, I'm Shawanna Kennedy. I am your host. You know, we talk all things self-care, mental well-being, personal empowerment, and development. We want you to be your best self, making yourself a priority in your life, because look, if you're no good for yourself, you already know it's not a cliche. You won't be any good for anyone else. I'm excited because I get the opportunity to speak to some amazing individuals who have been in it, who have done the work, who have the accolades, right? That can come in and speak to all of us about being better in the space that we're in. So that leads me to my amazing, dynamic guest today, Dr. Nikita. She is amazing. Dr. Nikita Harris, this young lady has over 30 years with working with federal, state, and government agencies in helping us to understand more about positive intelligence, right? I know everybody, we've heard about emotional intelligence, but we're going to dig into that too, as well as emotional mastery. But when I think about this young lady and her operating, not only does she have her PhD from Howard University, she's done all of this work, all of these studies, and I'm telling you, her resume is so extensive, it could possibly take up an episode just for us to go through all of the things that God has blessed her with and how she really does help her community, as well as get to help C-suite and laymen alike. But without further ado, you already know I like to do it. Let's welcome in Dr. Nikita to the You First platform. Welcome, Dr. Nikita.
Hello, Shawanna. Good afternoon. And thank you for inviting me to your space.
I'm excited because we have had a time trying to get Dr. Nikita in this space, but look at God, look at God, look at God, what a mighty God we serve. She is here.
I have a question for you, though.
Uh-oh, here we go, y'all.
I know you're like, wait, now, this is my show.
It's cool. I roll with it. Yeah, what you got for me?
Are you a former cheerleader?
No, you know, haha. Hey guys, I know those who are watching and you know me, y'all probably cracking up, because here is the thing with Shawanna. Along the way and in my self-discovery journey, I had to learn the hard way that I had to be okay to start cheering for myself. So what that does, because I love people and encouraging people and empowering people, hence why we have the You First platform. We also have the Self First movement community, to where I am known as an adult in my age that I do carry a pom-pom. And it actually is a part of a formula. It's a part of what we do in Self First, and it is power over mindset and power over me. So did I ever do it in high school or in, extending education? No, I did not, because y'all, I can't do no split, but I will definitely raise my pom-pom and I will cheer for you. I will root for your rise. And so I guess.
Okay, awesome. There's a lot of power in a pom-pom.
It really is.
See pom-poms, they're attracted to it. They get excited, right?
Yes.
They know that it's going to be something that's going to uplift them. It's going to be exciting. We're going to have a time where everybody comes together. So
I love it.
Pom-pom.
Being a speaker, when I'm even out, and I use it, I don't want to say as a prop, but it definitely goes with me, and God allows me the opportunity to bring it into any conversation. I don't care if it's from something with a church organization or to a C-suite. I have had my pom-pom in both places, and it serves a purpose, because we have to be okay. And I say too, to shake the pom-pom and to put it by your ear, because we have to know what that sounds like and what it makes ourselves feel like when we know that we have the power to cheer for ourselves. Because all too often, you already know, that's why we finna get into this positive intelligence and what that look and feel like while we wait for applause and cheers from other people. Yeah, so that's look. That's a little bit.
I love it. Thank you for creating this space for personal development and empowerment. We need a lot more spaces like this. So I'm excited to be here. Thank you for the invitation, and thank you for being that creative energy to want to help others. So that's fantastic.
Yeah, we definitely need more of it. And we need more people like you, right? You are going to let people know who are not quite sure, because I don't know if a lot of people heard it phrased that way when we talk about positive, like that positive intelligence.
Positive intelligence.
Yeah. For us.
Yeah, a lot of people have really heard about emotional intelligence. And so to put it in, give you like a simple definition of positive intelligence, and we could talk about it as it throughout the show and expand it a little bit more. But when we're talking about positive intelligence, what we're talking about, the percentage of the time that your mind works for you and not against you. Does your mindset, we're talking about a mindset. We're talking about your capability, your ability to push through very difficult, stressful times, but do it with a positive mindset rather than a negative mindset. So we're talking, is it being your friend? Are you thriving? Or is it being your enemy? And when we talk about your enemy, is it sabotaging you? And so that's kind of it in a very basic definition. The percentage of the time that your mind is really being your friend. There's a lot of research out there that states that only 20% of individuals and groups really reach their full potential. And it's all due and is all determined by a person's mindset, a leader's mindset, as they are moving teams through difficult times, or even personally. If you are going through anything that has disrupted your life, whether it's a friendship, whether it is something that has happened financially, how do you approach that? Do you approach it, even though it's challenging, thinking positive, or are you approaching it with a very negative mindset? So that is pretty much what positive intelligence is.
I love it. I love it because you already know. I'm glad that you made that. Look, her resume is extensive, y'all. One of the things that you did, you chose by choice to go into that field or to that area to really dig a little deeper, dive deeper in that to help us, to really help, to help us.
Let me tell you a little bit how I got into positive intelligence. My background is in communication studies, and so emotion and organizational, to be exact, and leadership. So I taught and trained in areas of emotional intelligence. So when I heard about positive intelligence, I was like, oh, here we go again. A spinoff of things that I probably taken training courses or taught over the last 25, 30 years. And it happened right before COVID. I was working on a contract, and I'm gonna be honest, this contract was with the World Bank, and the World Bank wanted their leaders trained in positive intelligence. And I was like, okay, that sounds like emotional intelligence. I can do that. But I went through and got training and certificate in positive intelligence. And it not only changed the way that I coach, I teach, and I train, but it also changed my personal life. It was very life-changing because I started to understand not what are the mechanics and the strategies of how to be a good leader, but I learned what are the things that are sabotaging me from reaching my potential, and not only what those things are, but why. And once I understood the why, I felt in better control to make sure that I am reaching my potential with a positive mindset. So I really do believe once people really understand the concept of positive intelligence, they can do some really amazing things. I've done it myself, and I've seen others do it.
So if someone was to say, what was the one big thing or a couple of things that you might have discovered that really stretched you more when you think about the positive intelligence versus emotional intelligence?
Well, positive intelligence is a part of emotional intelligence, but positive intelligence really focuses on your mind and the thoughts and your mindset and things that you think as you are dealing in very stressful and difficult situations. When things are going well, when we're being successful, it's easy to have a positive mindset. But when things are difficult, when they're challenging, do you still have a positive mindset? Oftentimes, what will happen is we will dip into what we call our survival region of our brain. And in order to really maximize our success and reach our potential and reach our goals and lead others to success, we have to tap into what is the region of our brain, which we call our thriving brain or our PQ brain. And that is where positive intelligence lies. So anytime that you are feeling negative emotion, maybe it anger, fear, disappointment, regret, shame, you are operating in that region of your brain, your left side of your brain, which is your survival brain. But in order to be successful and to feel things such as compassion, joy, happiness, we're really talking about happiness here. A person has to function and be in the region of their thriving brain, their PQ brain. So not only are we talking about success, but we're really talking about success plus happiness, but long-lasting happiness.
Yeah, that's what we see, because you keep using the word happiness, and because of how I've retrained and rewired my brain, I half the time I take it back when I say that. And that's why I think even in us having other conversations prior to tonight is speaking about joy, because the average person, when we think about happiness, it's based off what is happening. And that's why I say, here's the thing, especially for, us faith believers and all of the things, and believing in the creator and all of that. It's because if you believe that the joy is an inside job, and the world can't give it and the world can't take it away unless we allow it. So it's about finding that joy and knowing what that happiness, that joy that makes us happy, being in more control of that. So I love that you have made this a part of your work. It is definitely needed, especially in the times that we're all in right now.
Absolutely.
And we can't say it enough, shout it from the tallest building, right? Put it on a t-shirt and talk about the importance of that, because when we're in the privacy of our own spaces, it's like knowing how to regulate, right? Knowing how to respond or not respond. When you think about the positive intelligence, and even thinking about the response to certain things, right? Because I know, there's things about where you could tell me better than I can say it in regards to saying, we know that the body keeps score.
Yes.
How does that work?
Absolutely.
Your line
and
of
it's
work.
all connected to our mindset, how we approach things. And so when you think about, people have taken leadership courses, they've taken, they've gone through counseling, personal counseling. Just think about the New Year's resolutions that we set. We do good. We do pretty good, right? When we first kick it off, we're feeling good. We're being very successful. But typically, New Year's resolutions, people start to wane off around what time? Like February, March, April.
It never makes it through the
It doesn't make it very long. But we know the things to do, right? We know, and we feel good doing them, whether it is we're committed to eating better, working out, but something along the way happens. And then there's a disruption. And we can no longer sustain the path of success that we're going, and why. And to understand that a lot of that has to do with your mindset. And to also understand that when you let those disruptions occur, you pretty much have let a negative mindset seep in. Okay. And so we understand, especially when you look at positive intelligence, is that oftentimes let's take lottery winners. We all say, man, oh man, if I had $1 million or $2 million, I would be happy for life. But what do we know about people that win lotteries? What do we hear about them years later?
They don't keep it long, and they wind up in the same space that they were in before they ever won.
And they're typically more depressed, more unhappy. And we're sitting there saying, with all that money? And that is because there is something that has sabotaged them, and it's dealing with their mindset. It's their mindset. And so not only we're talking about success, you can be successful and very unhappy, but we're talking about success and long-lasting happiness, long-lasting joy. And it is directly connected to how we respond to life's challenges and how we push through. And we're talking about a positive mindset. We're talking about positive intelligence.
Yeah, so because I know you deal with, in the executive space, C-suite, and those in leadership, when you've had some of those instances, and I'm pretty sure there is some, where you involve them into it. Have you ever ran into, because every now and then, I know I've done some, corporate training in my day, soft skills, things like that. It's like when you get that one wise guy or that one person that kind of want to just see what they can do to kind of be that person in the room. Have you ever encountered that, and how do you handle that, especially when you're talking about positive intelligence?
Well, part of positive intelligence is understanding and identifying the things that sabotage you from your potential, that sabotage you from success and long-lasting happiness, right? The things that sabotage you from sustaining your success. And so the first thing, especially when I'm doing training with leaders at all different types of levels, from executives on down, is we need to first identify what are the things that sabotage you, because we're all sabotaged by different things. We have different trigger points. And when you understand those things, and not only understand that they happen, but understanding why they happen. And this is why positive intelligence for me was life-changing, because now I understood why there were certain things that stressed me out. And I could be experiencing that same thing with coworkers or family members or friends, and they approached it very differently, right? So I'm wondering, this is not stressing you out. You don't see this. You don't understand this. It's because our minds are telling us different things about that situation. And a lot of it is connected to our upbringing. All right. So when we are talking about positive intelligence and we're talking about the things that sabotage us, they're called saboteurs. And you took the saboteur assessment, and what did you think about that? Let's talk about that.
You know what, I really, because there's a couple of tests that I've taken over the years that kind of give you a gauge of, are you really thinking this way? Or to kind of do a gauge of where is your thought processes? Because we really do need to know what we're thinking about, right? Because it affects everything we do. And when you talk about being in leadership or being in any type of, even if you're a leader in your home, let's start there, right?
Right.
Those things do really kind of say, have I done my work? Especially for people who believe that they do work, right? Because we all have to do self-work. That, hey, hence you first, right?
I think part of doing the work is understanding the things that keep you from reaching your potential. And a lot of times people are not aware.
Because when I believe, I don't have my scores in front of me, but when I think about the fact of being in control, right? I am a person who is, I'm solution driven. I can't help it. How are we solving this, right? I'm a person that we have to be able to work through this. I don't like being stuck. I don't like to feel and I don't know if that.
And I wish you had your with your test scores, your outcome.
Yeah, right now. So you already know that means we're gonna have to have a part 2. So maybe in part 2, I'll pull up my results. So that means you gotta make sure you put it to our second part. And I'll pull up my results.
Positive intelligence is based upon understanding the things that sabotage you from reaching.
Yeah, you know what? And because
what is our mind telling us? Is our mind serving us? Is our mind being our friend, or is our mind being our enemy? And oftentimes what the research says is 80% of people can't really reach their goals. Leaders aren't able to really lead teams, and CEOs aren't able to really lead companies in a way to have success that's sustainable, and even not only sustainable success, but are you happy and are you joyful while you're working in this space? Because their mind is working against them. There are things that the mind is saying to them that is false and that is not true, and that they're falling for believing it, and they think that their mind is their friend, but it's actually their enemy. And so that's one of the first things to understanding what those saboteurs are. And so when we're talking about positive intelligence and we're talking about saboteurs, there are 10 different saboteurs that have been identified through, decades and decades of research, based in neuroscience, based in cognitive psychology, positive psychology. There are studies that have identified these what I call them little ugly friends. They're not really a friend, they're really an enemy, that sabotages us and keeps us from reaching our full potential. And so there's one that is universal. Everyone, when you took the exam, I keep on saying exam, I'm in still finals mode, assessment. When you took the assessment, it only identified 9 saboteurs for you, but there's actually 10. And the main one that we all are impacted by, that sabotages us, takes our happiness away, is the judge saboteur. The judge is the saboteur, or that causes a negative mindset, where we're very critical of not only others and situations, but ourselves.
Yeah, I guess it's probably good that wasn't on the assessment, because I do know what it feels. I know what it feels like to be in that space. I know what it looks and feel like to be almost a judge and a jury, look, thank God for Jesus, right? But it is to know what that look and feel like. So like I said, we're going to dive deeper. You're going to have Dr. Harris back, because I want to know, so that you can help a person right now that's listening, that's right here with us right now. What are some things that need to be non-negotiables as when we think more about the positive intelligence and how we can begin to do better work? Because I know some people are actually already on the road to trying to do some things because they have identified some stuff, right? And you're like, in this season of my life, I want to grow. I want to be prosperous in every area, starting with my mind, right? We know to change our mind is to change our world. It changes everything, because I say by choice or by force, we're going to have to deal with it, because it is already costing you some things, right?
Right. When we're talking about, let me give you some, when people are functioning in their thriving brain, which we call the PQ brain, their high intelligence, salespeople tend to sell 37% more. Let me give you some research, some outcomes numbers here.
Yeah.
Some negotiators tend to close deals more frequently, forge future relationships, gain consensus. Employers typically, when they're functioning in their positive, intelligent, and they're focused, and when we're talking about that region of the brain, the PQ brain, they have fewer sick days. Typically, they tend to quit a job or a project less often. Doctors tend to diagnose different conditions 19% faster, and with more accuracy and success. Students typically do better in math. And our leaders tend to produce, their teams tend to produce almost 32% more on average than other teams. So there are, when we're talking about positive intelligence in whether we're working, whether we are leading, there are some direct connections to having a high sense of high level of positive intelligence as it relates to things that we do as it relates to performance. But also, this was very key to me. This is the thing that really got me to really being a student of positive intelligence. When I saw that this had a direct impact on my health and longevity. Okay, let me see. I have some people that function in positive intelligence tend to have better immune systems, lower stress and hormones, lower blood pressure. They tend to report less pain, fewer and less colds, less symptoms as it relates to diabetes, strokes. They sleep better. Hypertension is better. So when we're talking about positive intelligence, we're also talking about a healthier lifestyle, and people that function in that positive, that PQ brain, tend to live 10 years longer. No, and there have been over 200 and some studies that have been really done in this area and have indicated these outcomes.
No, I love it. 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 Y'all already know. Y'all already know. Make sure you are tuning in. Make sure you are tapped in. Make sure you're following us. Subscribe, because this is the place to be, because you know we make it all about who? We make it all about you. We make it all about you. And Dr. Harris is really, y'all see, she coming with the facts. She's coming with the facts. Y'all already know we're going to have a part 2. So make sure you are following her. She is Dr. Nikita Harris on Instagram. You'll be on IG, on LinkedIn, all over the place. You will find her information right below in the description below. I'm excited, Dr. Harris, that you are here with me, and we're going to get more into talking about those saboteurs and what that look and feel like, and things we need to pay more attention to so that we can be better, starting right where we are. Yeah. I like that. Don't y'all go nowhere. Make sure you tune in and tapped in. Tell the people bye, Dr. Nikita. We go.
Bye. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we'll see you for our part 2. Stand by. This episode is brought to you by Kennedy Media and Entertainment, your premier video productions and digital visibility partner. Working with business owners just like you to be seen, heard, and paid by elevating your brand with high-impact video content, online visibility strategies, and expert social media management. Ready to stand out in your industry, on and off camera? Contact Kennedy Media today, and let's turn your message into a movement. Because visibility isn't optional, it's essential. Contact KennedyMediaLLC.com, KennedyMediaLLC.com, and let's boost your brand's visibility. It's time for you to be seen, heard, and known for your expertise. Contact us today.